Here we go, boys.
Because you want to turn on iPad too.
All right.
So what dating questions are y'all going to throw out there?
We are getting ready to go on. Oh, that's not the song we want. There we go. What's up, yo? It's the Bachelor Podcast, you know.
Yeah.
Just 4 dudes sitting around talking about the Bachelor. How the hell are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
We got Ryan in the house. Say hello.
What up?
Say hello. We got Nick B.
How's it going, guys?
Nick, how the hell are you? How was your weekend?
Fantastic, man.
What about you, Ryan? Your weekend good?
Weekend is good. I got Nick's out at polo now.
Oh yeah,
look
you're
at
out
that.
there doing the polo thing. Make
Yep.
sure you just
His
talk
new
in that
jam.
microphone. Yeah, so what's going on in the polo world?
Well,
Nick's got a little hidden,
I'm new, so it's all brand new to me.
he's got a little hidden prep side. He's got a rugby tournament coming up. He's big on the croquet.
Okay.
He
all right.
might out prep me, even though I came in my tennis outfit today.
Dennis, we gotta start getting in with some of these fancy sports.
We got to up our game a little bit, Bird.
Me and Denny's, we play college football on video games.
Yeah.
It's about as athletic as we've been getting. these
Madden
days.
17.
So last night, everyone on our show, the actual KVJ show, thought last night was the finale. It was not.
Right.
You thought it was the finale.
I did
but
too.
that-
I was like, oh, this is our last podcast.
Well, the last episode there was only 1 hour, and then this one was 3. Why didn't they just split the difference?
yeah, let's talk about that for a sec. Come on, Bachelor. 3 hours on a Monday? We work.
I know, but you know what? They do it because they can.
What was the reason for cutting it short last week?
I don't think they had enough content, honestly. I think they had an hour, which was really nice. I think that's the sweet spot,
That
by the way,
is.
hour.
Yeah.
And then they kind of did the typical Bachelor cliffhanger. And someone had an interesting theory, and I thought, I'm like, maybe they're going to do this because they said Rachel was obviously going to be the new Bachelorette. Someone said, what if Nick gives Rachel the rose and she turned it down? And said, no, I don't want to be a part of this, but that did not happen.
It'd been a power move.
Interesting theory. So what did you guys take away from last night? What were the highlights, the lowlights?
The show, or did you guys watch the Women Tell All as well, also afterwards?
We watched a good amount of it.
Women told most.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get
They
through
didn't really
all.
let Chris talk.
Yeah, at all.
I mean, the girls came with their claws out, for sure. They were ready to pounce.
I don't know if you guys saw the one girl. I can't think of her name. She was talking to the girl that Nick had that one night stand with, Elizabeth, I believe her name
Liz,
is.
yes.
Yeah, Liz. So the one girl that got eliminated, she called out. It's the girl that Elizabeth trusted and told her the secret
Oh,
on the
yep.
show.
Yep.
You could tell the girl she told the secret to wanted to kind of like, why did you do that? And why were you like that? And then the entire panel got on Elizabeth's side or Liz's side, and you can tell she kind of quiet and shut up. It was like, oh no, you're an independent, strong girl. Good job sleeping with him, hooking up with him.
They definitely turned that around a little bit, for sure.
Well, it just shows you that some of those girls, they only do what the herd is going to do.
No, it's true. That's a good point. It's herd mentality.
Messed up.
Let's, I mean, we're jumping to the Women Tell All already, but there was a whole show before Women Tell All.
You're right, Nick.
I mean-
we right. We're jumping around here.
Let's start at the beginning.
Let's go. Let's do it.
They opened it up last night with, obviously, Raven on cloud 9, right? Never had an orgasm. Whether it was edited that way, but they played it off like she had hit the sweet spot.
Oh, big time. Me and Denny's were all hot and bothered watching that.
Yeah.
I almost felt embarrassed for her afterwards, where she's like running around,
Okay,
giving
who-
high fives.
Who do you feel worse for, her or her ex-boyfriend?
Oh, for sure.
That poor son of a bitch.
Someone needs to have get him on the air and talk to him.
Well, did you guys see? Okay, so what we're talking about is Raven. She said she never had the big orgasm with her ex-guy.
Yep.
And he came out the next day and said, that's not true. I gave her orgasms. That makes it worse.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I didn't see
I
that.
He
didn't see
defended
that.
himself, yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah. I can pleasure a woman.
That's amazing. Yeah, she's like, Raven's like, and Nick's good at what he does.
Yeah, I saw it.
We were talking. Did they really hit skins? Do you think they did?
Do I think that in general, do they do it on the show? Or
Or was
they,
it clever editing?
Yeah,
to
I
make
know
it
they
look
do it
like-
on the show. Did Raven and Nick actually hit skins?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. What do you think, dude? She's such a good girl.
She could have just been walking and they shot it and made it look like she had an orgasm.
Fake orgasms? That's not cool. What is it? Showtime? Did you see? him talking to, I can't think of her name, Vanessa. Yes, they were laying down together too. He was laying down with Rachel. He's not getting it in with everybody.
But it's happened. There's precedent for like the final two people. Both are definitely slept with both. Like that's what Nick got called his bachelorette out on. He's like, you slept with me too. Like, why did you sleep with me if you knew you didn't want to end up with me?
Nick V, it's the final two. You're the bachelor. There's two chicks that they both want to sleep with you. Do you do it? Do you sleep with both of them?
I can tell you this. Each one would be individual call. I mean, you're going to want to. You're a guy. You want to. But, I mean, it depends on how you want to be viewed by everybody, the whole nation watching the show. I mean, yes, whether you do it or not, they're going to edit it the way they want to.
And make it look like...
Even if you don't do it, they're going to edit it the way to show that you did it.
Because there's a couple mysteries right now. Did Raven have an orgasm? Did Chad shit his pants? There's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
Did they bump uglies, you know?
Yeah, so you know for a fact that on some seasons,
Yeah.
the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, they hit it with more than one person.
Andy did with Nick and Josh.
Okay, so many names. So she slept with Josh and Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever talk about who was better?
Well, she ended up with Josh.
I like to kind of segue into. We'll come back. We'll come back to the first hour.
That was kind of the bang on Nick a little bit, though, because he always came in second place. So the joke was, like, does he really suck in bed? Because he got to the end, but then when it went to the fantasy suite, he never came out on top, so to speak.
I can't prove this, and I'm not trying to start drama, but Nick, to me, looks a little bit like a lazy lover. Slightly. Do you sense that at all? Denny's, you've been awfully quiet over there.
Do I sense that? I'd imagine. I mean, he's probably like your average lover. He's not going above and beyond.
That's what I'm saying. Does he go? It goes back to that whole beard he's got.
Yeah, I don't think he's alpha in the bedroom. I think that he's willing to give, though.
I think he's willing to give, but I agree. I don't think he is going to be your alpha.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he's going to go above and beyond to make sure Raven gets the big O. I'm not buying that.
You think people are complaining that he's the dead fish in bed?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think he's more of the dead fish. That's what I'm sensing. I mean, second place a couple times.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good.
Let's go to a little email here. Dear Ryan.
Oh, jeez, I got a lot of these last week.
Nice.
And this is for everybody. Everyone can answer this.
Okay, good.
Would you ever date a former stripper? I just told my new boyfriend I was a former stripper, and he freaked out. I think he's going to break up with me now. This was when I was 19 years old. Now I'm 25. Would you guys judge a girl for something like this, or is something like this something I should never bring up again?
I'm always for the honesty. I would say that if I found out later, I don't think I would probably pursue a girl that I knew was a stripper.
So let's say you're dating a girl for the first month. You like her. This chick is hot. Week 5, you find out she was on tables dancing.
So she's 30 and she stripped when she was 19.
The girl right here is saying she's 20, like I guess 26 right now.
I think I'm gonna need more information. Was it burlesque?
No, I think it's Barrel.
Was it burlesque or was it like
It's Barrel.
Mrs. T's?
Yeah,
like,
I think it's Mrs.
It's T's.
if it's Mrs. T's, that's too much.
What does she do now?
I
that plays a big role.
Okay.
I mean, let's say a lot of girls say going, I guess, to be a doctor or to be a lawyer. They got to put themselves through school, right?
Okay.
So they do that on the side.
The stripping. You
Yeah,
believe
it's a
that
lot of
whole
money.
thing? I'm just putting myself through
Well,
college.
I mean, what does she do now, though? I mean, is she
I think she sells drugs
wiping
now.
tables, or I mean, or,
Well, okay,
or like
let's just say this for argument's sake. She is a woman now, works at a typical 9-to-5 job. She's not a stripper anymore. And her 18, 19, 20-year-old days, she liked to drink. She liked to, strip.
I guess my ultimate question is, what was her motive for stripping?
It made her feel sexy.
Well, then we have an issue.
So if she's doing it to get through school, then it's cool.
Well, I mean, it bodes a lot better than just because she wants to be naked in front of a lot of guys.
Okay, let me paint this scenario. Nick B, you're at dinner. You've been with this girl for 3.5 months, and you think she is the one. Nick B, I have something I got to tell you. When I was 19, I was a stripper. I did it for a year and a half. I had sex with a couple of the guys, but that was a long time ago, and I am now clean as a whistle, and I've been teaching for 3 years.
I'm not going to lie, that would be a shot to the heart, and I would probably need some time to think about it.
Okay.
But, I mean, if I was going into that conversation thinking that she was the one already, I mean, you want somebody that's going to be reciprocal and work with you on situations. Like if they didn't like something you ever did, you know?
Can someone be the one in your eyes, and then you find something out, and you're like, okay, they're not the one anymore?
Yeah.
Where you are really in love with a girl, you would go through a wall, take 9 bullets for her, and she drops that bomb on you. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Give me an example. Is stripping the example?
I like extreme analogies to make a point, but like say she killed someone, or she cheated on her last 3 boyfriends, or she cheated on me the first month we were dating, and it's a year down the road.
Oh, yeah, you pull that crap.
Right?
Oh, it was a year ago when I cheated on you. No.
See, that doesn't count. That's not the past, really, because, I mean, that's still in your relationship.
Exactly.
So you're saying anything that happened before you
Yeah,
dated?
I'm talking about anything. Everyone's got a past. We all got a past.
Right.
Some strip, some hook, some play baseball. Whatever your past is that you do that you're kind of ashamed of, whatever that is, it's going to be different levels.
Yeah.
Is there anything a girl can say to you where you're like, when she is the one in your eyes, can she say anything to ruin that? And you guys are saying yes.
My big thing is like, cruelty to animals. Like if there's anything that was that, and then anything that's outside of the realm of self-respect, right? Because if you're stripping, that's because you want, in my opinion, like you could cocktail at a strip club and make really good money and pay your bills. You know, like if you're stripping, you want to buy a Ferrari. You know, like there's a certain. I'm okay with a girl having a past because I don't hold a double standard. Like if a girl act like a dude acted, I think that she's honest about it, she's trustworthy, then I'm cool with that. But if there was like a lack of self-respect when she was hooking up with guys, like, you know what I mean? Like where it wasn't necessarily her controlling it in a sense, like where she was just easy.
Got ya.
That bothers me.
Betrayal of trust is a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Any level.
I think at any level in any relationship, whether it's a person you work with, whether it's a buddy,
A family
whether it's
member, anything.
Once trust is broken, that's tough to repair, is it not?
Yeah. I think a big problem is that people going into relationships don't know when the clock has started, right?
Okay.
Because sometimes
Elaborate.
Sometimes you get, like for me, I'm relatively black and white. So once I have a girlfriend, like boom, committed. But like in the beginning phases of you dating, like, you know, you're talking to a couple girls and like something happens and then the girl gets pissed. And I was like, well, you're not my girlfriend.
You just start talking to a girl for about a week, but you might have rounded second base or maybe third with another. But
Right.
it was during that new period where it's not technically cheating.
Right.
So what are we saying? That every girl that possibility of dating, you got to sit down and have the conversation? Or what are we?
So that's that gray area, right? And that purgatory is, I've said that before, purgatory is a dangerous place to date. You know?
But Nick B, to bring up your point, I think you actually do have to have that 8th grade discussion with that person. I don't think you could ever over communicate in a relation. I think you could always be telling them something. I don't think it's a bad thing to say, hey, what are we? Are we exclusive? Are you dating a reggae band on the side?
He loves the reggae.
What's going on? And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, that's not a bad thing. But
So
sometimes you as the guy maybe don't want to bring that up yet. You know, like you don't want to. I've had girls that because I usually am not interested in girls really quickly. Like it's rare.
You're like an onion. You got to peel you back a couple layers.
Exactly. And then when I find a girl, because I have no game, I over pursue sometimes because it's so like a one-off. And I was like,
So do you really think you don't have any game, or is that in sense your game acting like you don't have a game? Because I've seen that before. I don't got a game. Look at my abs. Like, you know what I mean? Is that?
But I joke that my game's like my dancing and my jokes. It's so bad, like it works, you know?
Yeah.
And I just own it. Like it's, you know, I if I saw a really attractive girl at a function at the bar, like if I was gonna pick her up, it's not because I went over there and said something smooth. It's went over there like and I tried
Spilled the drink, or
yeah, I did something stupid. I said something stupid. I made a stupid joke, and if it worked for me, then she's a girl that I'll probably get along with. If she's like, "Wow, like that was really stupid," then we wouldn't have worked anyways.
What are your thoughts
Good
on this?
point.
Does Ryan have a weak game in your opinion, Nick B? You've seen him?
You've seen him work in the polo circuit.
Yeah, you've seen him. You've seen him on the polo fields.
I'd have to say that it's a farce that Ryan has no game.
I agree. It's such bullshit. Come on. You don't have hair like that and have zero game, man.
I mean, were we born yesterday? Come on.
Yeah, hey, Ryan, we're not the girls. You be honest with us.
You don't got a lot of us.
Yeah,
I just have a good barber.
But Nick, you said you are in a relationship right now. You're dating someone?
No.
You're not.
What?
Am I getting this confused with my other guy that wasn't here?
Vincent?
Vinny's dating someone.
Vinny's dating somebody. Sorry, so many Bachelor guys, so little time. So you are single right now.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
so you go into a bar, you see a girl you like. Are you the kind of wallflower kind of a guy, or does the alpha come out and you're like, all right, let me at least plant a seed here?
Like, I definitely like to scope the situation out. If she's hanging out with somebody, I'm not going to go in and like go in between them. But like, if I see an opening, I'm going to take it.
I like that. Wow.
Go right in there.
Release the animal. We got two
Yeah.
different ways of going about it. Denny's, what's your way? How did you court your girl Jen?
I'm kind of more with like Ryan. I don't necessarily have that suaveness, if you will. I kind of just, honestly, funny enough, a lot of people I date is because I sold them drugs. It makes it so much easier.
When he says drugs, he means weed. I don't want
Yeah.
people thinking you're slanging cane over here.
No,
it wasn't
no.
roofies, right?
No. Those I keep for myself.
I like how you get honest on this Bachelor podcast. That's not how you met Jen, though, is it?
No, I met Jen through a coworker, but I did sell her ex-boyfriend weed, and that's how I started chatting with Jen.
All right, okay. Well, we all got our different methods. Okay, so it doesn't sound like anybody here has got that smooth one line.
No.
No, absolutely not.
I think one line's cheesy.
Yeah. So the guys that seem like they have like the guys with the best game, in my opinion, are the ones that don't seem like they have game. You know what I mean? It's just, like those guys that are like the pickup guys. Like, I think that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be on one end of the spectrum. Like, I'm just honest with who I am, and I'll kind of fall over myself a little bit. And if you get a laugh of it, then you're probably a girl that I would get along with. Then there's the guys that try really hard, that are okay playing a numbers game. Right? Like, they'll just
keep going.
They just
More
keep
the merrier.
going. Yeah.
And by the way, that numbers game does work.
It does.
I've seen guys who don't have a great game,
Yeah.
and they've asked 15 girls out. They struck out 13 times.
Yeah. Yep.
They are resilient. There's something to that to be said about resilience for some people. People that are not afraid to look stupid, they win.
Yeah.
They win because they don't let the outside crap get in their head, and that's a big thing I think in dating, where you can't fear looking like an idiot.
Yeah. And I have some friends that you wouldn't think that they would pull the girls that they do, but man, they're smooth, and like they're great guys too, but like they just go and like it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'll be honest. I hate rejection. So numbers game is not my game. But like, if you're gonna be the one to go out on a few dates with me, I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna be goofy. I'm gonna be a little stupid.
Yeah.
And if you can't laugh at that, then
I mean, that's the way I look at it too. I mean, if someone's gonna date me, they got to understand my personality, and that I take this seriously. I don't take that seriously, and that's just trying to find your X to your O.
One of my favorite quotes I saw, I just can't believe I saw this recently. It said, I think it was Latin. It's "In vino veritas."
Dude,
Did you see that?
That's from they do that in the movie Tombstone.
Tombstone?
Have you guys ever seen Tombstone? Anybody listening, which is about 8 people, watch Tombstone.
They say that?
Yeah, he does. He quotes that.
I love that because basically, like, when you can get drunk with someone, and like maybe this seems silly, but if a girl's a bad drunk, like it just not gonna work.
Jeez.
But you can really see, like, if it's like a guy that's a jerk is a bigger jerk, someone that's funny is kind of funnier, So I like being able to get loose in a way with someone that you're dating, because I think you can see, like, you learn a lot.
Someone gave me
For
some really good advice. I thought it was good advice, and I won't say his name. I highly respect this person, and he's done a lot of great stuff, and he's been married for a long time. And I asked him, I said,
Kevin?
No, it's not Kevin. I do respect Kevin. That's not who I'm talking about. He's been married to his high school sweetheart, and they look like they actually like each other. They get along. They laugh. They have fun. They look like they're friends and lovers. As corny as that sounds, they just look like they belong together. And I asked him, I said, hey, is marriage a struggle for you? Did you have to work really hard to be that happy? He said, no, man. Honestly, I took some advice, and it really it helped me out greatly. Don't ever, and this is for guys and girls, don't settle down with somebody who's overly moody. And he gave me an example. If you see somebody at 9 a.m. and they're happy and they're really into you, and then 2 hours later they're shit nuts and mad and they're crazy. That's a moody person. That's a red flag, and you want to be kind of scared about that. What are your guys' thoughts on just moody people in general?
No, I agree 100%. I don't really love scary movies because there's enough negative emotions in the world as it is. Like, I don't need to pay money and spend time to feel a negative emotion.
Yeah, and I want to make sure I'm clear on that. I'm not saying people can't be moody. Everyone can be moody, and that's the human condition. But you know what I'm talking about.
Some people are happy people.
What's putting you in the mood, though?
Well, that's it. I should preface, if they are getting constantly upset about stuff that's out of your control, that has nothing to do with you, it's affecting their mood constantly. There's just always that unnecessary drama. It's a red flag, man. You might want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got some similar advice from my former boss and mentor, and he goes, Ryan, just whatever you do, make sure you end up with a giver, not a taker. And it seemed really kind of simplistic, but I thought about it. I was like, man, like some friends in your life, some girls that you've dated, sometimes you can really put them in the kind of box like where they're just takers or they're givers, and so I just kind of keep an eye out for that, and it makes me appreciate, because you can sense with someone, like a girl's like, hey, like, is there anything I can get for you, like, are you okay, like, you're that empathic rather than just like always like.
I think that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. I think is underappreciation. I think when anybody is in a relationship and you feel like one person doesn't really give a shit or is not trying as hard,
right.
I think that's where it starts to fall apart.
Or expects things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who's always expecting something is
100%.
Denny's, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree. If somebody's expecting stuff, that's annoying. But, I like girls, I guess you could say, that are more laid back, that don't worry about, like you were saying, the emotional stuff.
Well, that brings something to the table.
What's
they don't come empty-handed.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right. There's a power to being laid back and almost being the calming voice in chaos.
It makes me want to do things for her, which I wouldn't normally, would want to.
And again, I'm going guy and girl. I mean, there are girls out there that are trying really hard, and the guy is the drama queen. You don't have to be a girl to be a drama queen. That I've learned. I know a lot of dudes that are full of legit drama, and it has nothing to do with the girl, and it ruins that girl's life. It sucks.
Yep.
Well, I think you can watch The Bachelorette and see some guys out there that have a lot of drama.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They do.
Geez.
They do. You guys want to? This is our hate email. We got our first hate email.
Okay.
It's hate email light.
That means you're doing something right?
Yeah.
If you're not getting any hate email, you're not doing something right.
So I like this because it's such a benign comment, but they go, "Wish there wasn't so much talk about threesomes and more about the show," and that's not really a hate email, but I like this. Someone else defended us. This other girl comes back with, I think you should just relax and enjoy it. They talk about this stuff on The Bachelor all the time. Don't listen if you're so easily offended. There's always Disney Radio.
That's a good comeback.
That is a good comeback.
That's a very good comeback. They talk about that stuff on. I mean, they go pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're macking. The one guy's kissing a girl, next thing he's kissing another girl.
I think the executive producer Elon Gale does a really good job of trying to it seems maybe simplistic, but he sent out a tweet I think last night. He goes, I think it's really important that we talk about the female orgasm, because then maybe a lot of guys watching can hear it for the first time.
Look, if you're watching The Bachelor and you get offended by content or language, that's like people who go to a comedy club and go, oh, I can't believe you said that. Well, you're in a comedy club. Right. Get over yourself.
You walked into this.
And in a weird way, you guys in radio and TV kind of move the ball down the field culturally in terms of progressing. Like, when Mary Tyler Moore died, it was like because we obviously weren't alive back then, but how much she blazed a trail by talking back to her boss, and she was a woman, and that was a TV show that it became culturally more acceptable for women to have more rights and
absolutely
have more to say.
Be independent, be
exactly.
out there working.
And so The Bachelor is given a situation where when it's The Bachelorette, the woman's in charge, right? It's kind of like Bumble, the woman's got to make the first move.
The show's going to progressively get a little bit more risque. Or is it going to be where are these overnights going to be now? How much are we going to see?
you bring up, we have to deal with that all the time in radio. Got to push the envelope. You got to be edgy, but don't be too edgy, because as soon as you try to do something that's a little bit edgier, you're in 9 meetings. And why did you guys do that? Well, you told us to be edgy, but not that edgy.
You want to do just enough to get some hate mail, and then have some people come back you up.
Well, we're nailing it. We get plenty of hate.
Are you,
Hate
are you
mail's all it
guys
takes.
more happy with Nick now that he's progressed a little bit? You still think he's a little boring?
I think Nick is so boring. I love talking to you guys. I think I love doing the podcast. It's a lot of fun. Was not impressed with this season, really. If it wasn't for Corinne, this would have been a snooze fest.
Yeah.
For sure, she kind of did carry it. And on the Women Tell All, she was the one that everybody was cheering for.
Oh, yeah, everybody is. It's all about Corinne. Let's get to how, I'm sorry, Vanessa annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
What do you guys, do you still like Vanessa?
Well, I do. I think when you see Nick and Vanessa together, Vanessa's the one putting Nick on the hot seat, whereas Nick, with all the other girls, is putting them in the hot seat. You know, have you
definitely.
noticed
She
that?
puts them on the
yeah.
hot seat like
It's almost like
every line.
She does. She's a little much, man. I think she's just, it's like, all right, let's go over some of this maybe when the show's over. She's just going right in. Well, what's going on? Why not this? Why not that?
her Prater's already heated up, and when she gets her time with him, she's just jabbing.
Isn't she? Wouldn't you say that she's probably arguably the only girl that stands up to him? If you think about it.
Yeah, but I don't think he likes that. I know he's acting like he wants that. He's like, oh, I like how she challenges me. Bullshit. He wants a girl that looks like Corinne but acts like sort of like Raven. That's my take on
Yeah.
it. I do. I think that. Denny's thoughts?
I think so. Are you still definitely Team Raven? You think she's gonna win this?
I like
don't know.
I like Raven. I like Raven a lot.
Nick B's got his cheat sheet.
I'm back and forth on the Vanessa thing. I do like how I have to get Nick credit. Like he doesn't try and just say everything the girls want to hear. He's like, I'm not traditional. Like
Speaking about the traditional,
Yeah.
right? Nick's whole thing with Vanessa. Oh, your family's traditional. Oh, I don't know. You're very traditional. I mean, that's where we're different.
That went on for
But-
10 minutes, too, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
But then the next breath, he goes, but we're the same. And then the next breath, but you're traditional.
I'm telling
But then
you.
we're the same. So he's like seesawing back and forth with her.
I can read him like a book. Here's what's gonna. I'll tell you what's gonna happen right now. He's gonna do. He'll give the flower to Vanessa or Raven. They'll talk. He's going on Dancing with the Stars. He is not settling down with anybody.
You think so?
Oh my gosh. He's gonna be a not major celebrity, but he's gonna have a lot of notoriety. It's not the time for him to be settling down. He's 36, which is still pretty darn young. He's got another couple years of playing the field. I'm sorry, he's not settling down.
All right, we got Raven and we got Vanessa left, right? So he already told Vanessa he doesn't really like the thought of going to Canada, right? Because he's proud to be an American.
She's proud to be a Canadian.
Right. And we all think that Raven's a little bit too good for him, even though apparently she just had her first orgasm, you know?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's alleged.
We'll have to get to the bottom of that.
Do y'all think he's going to...
That's what she said.
Y'all think he's not going to settle with any of them?
I think he's gonna do the dance. I think he's gonna do the flower. They're gonna act like they're together.
And then 2 months later,
They'll do the press
They'll
junket.
be on the like Us Weekly magazine where
Oh,
Broken
look,
up.
They're so cute. And then you're right. They'll be on a magazine. Nick doesn't know, and Raven or whoever he picks.
Yeah.
And he will be
All right, if he's just doing it for the press, then which one of the two girls is better for his
Raven.
press?
Raven. Vanessa will be like, "What are you doing? I'm calling you out."
no,
And
she'll write a book and totally throw him under the
Yeah,
bus.
no.
yeah, you're totally right. Totally right.
Vanessa's the kind of girl.
Absolutely.
If you screw her over, guess what? All your secrets, they're
You're
on
done.
social media.
Done.
She's tweeting out pictures of you. Oh,
Done.
yeah.
She's on a tour.
So when did they announce the Dancing with the Scars schedule? That was like 3 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know about Dancing with the Scars, but Dancing with the Stars, I believe.
Sorry, we just had to pound like 3 Mountain Dews.
Yeah, we were doing a bit. We were doing a Slurpee chug right before we did this, so we're all discombobulated
checked.
right
I
now.
think maybe we should drink. So now we're actually back on serve in the sense that next week's the finale, right?
You want to drink
Yes.
for the finale?
I think we should drink for the finale.
Oh, gee.
Here's my
Right, you?
question.
I'm in if we're doing that.
I'm in. Can you guys do it at a different time?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do? I mean, you guys want to get because he's got to work. I'd like us all to drink. I'd like us all to relax,
Really?
have some fun. Because that I can tell you right now, that podcast is going to turn into not a Bachelor podcast.
We get pretty crazy when we.
We'll bring out the paintball gun. It's going to get weird.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, I love it. We'll try to make an attempt at that being a Bachelor podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But just so people know, like the one comment said, I thought this was going to be about the show. Really what it is it's we're talking about the show, but we're also talking about relationship. I mean, I'm a bachelor, we're all bachelors, but Denny's over here. Denny's gives that couple's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I come in.
Yeah, I mean, you're the relationship guru. Tell us, school us.
Get out of here. I don't know if I'm doing
5
it
years
right.
is strong.
5 years is strong.
He's got a
5
great
years?
girl. Yeah, he's got a great
going on 6 here.
And we were talking too. When's he going to put a ring on that thing? And it's getting
nice.
down there.
Yeah.
Okay, then when did you have the talk? We're boyfriend and girlfriend with her.
Well, we were kind of weird because we knew each other through a friend. I actually dated her ex-roommate, and that's how I met her. But me and her ex-roommate we were always arguing with each other and stuff. So I ended up spending more time with my girlfriend.
And you can imagine Denny's is a pretty
I get
angry
really heated
arguer.
up.
Hey,
Get
what
really
are you
heated
doing?
up.
Really? You're being facetious, right?
Yeah.
So- I have never seen him mad about anything.
Right.
I feel there's no point in wasting energy and getting
I
mad
agree.
about stuff.
You
I
look
will
I'm
move.
the same
moody
way.
with way too much to be argumentative.
I just move on, man. I try not to carry anything on me.
I can always tell. It's almost like we're married because I can always tell when he's just kind of just trying to shut me up. Yeah, okay, whatever you say, man. I'm like, don't patronize me. Baby. What are you doing,
Argue
baby?
back. Yeah, no. But
Are you
yeah,
getting moody?
Yeah, I believe in the man period. I really do. I believe that there's a time of month where guys get a little bit grouchy or a little bit oversensitive, a little bit moody, and I think it happens once a month. I don't think it goes as long for females, but I think a day or two out of the month, guys go through something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a lack of sleep or what.
or do you think it's working with women and like aligning with them?
I know I'm gonna own my own craziness and my own moodiness, but you guys don't ever feel that there are times, maybe not every month, but every 6 weeks, you just feel slightly, I don't know, extra tired, extra moody, and you don't really know why. Does that happen?
Yeah, I this time of year there's so many functions. I get worn out, and then being an entrepreneur and like self-employed, it's where you are in work too. You know, in your
Sure.
career, like sometimes you feel like on top of the world, and sometimes so you got to develop thick skin to be like that.
I agree.
I think it's more of a release. I think as guys, we tend to bottle things up a little bit more until we each have our own different breaking point, and we just release it.
Do you have a breaking point?
I mean,
I mean,
yes, absolutely.
No, I know you do, but what is your breaking point? As far as when you notice yourself, and I'm going to ask you the same thing, Ryan, because I'm actually very curious of why people, when you don't realize you're in a bad mood.
I wouldn't. I guess breaking point was a wrong term. I think it's more of like a release valve, or
Okay.
You know, it's just you need to let off some steam.
Pressure's getting to you a little bit, career, or like whatever it may be. You think that's what brings on the mood? You don't think it's some kind of like physical thing
Like
that
biological?
Like chemical
like
thing?
Yeah.
Possibly. Like, I'm hungover. I'm more moody.
I agree because when I'm hungover, things get to me a little bit more. I'm overthinking more stuff.
It's because you're uncomfortable.
My chemistry's all messed up.
Yeah,
if I was at my regular, normal chemistry, I don't know if I get that upset.
Yeah.
But I think women are in the same boat.
They definitely
so,
are.
I mean, I thought we were just talking about men and how men's period.
Well, my Kevin on the show, our host, thinks that's when I say that me and him are on the same cycle and that the man period is a real thing. He thinks it's such horseshit. Guys don't get moody like girls do once a month. I completely disagree with that. Nick B, it looks like you kind of disagree too.
Well, I think it's situational, and I think that all guys have their boiling point. I think, but at some point, I think all guys need to release some steam, and I think that's construed as man period.
Yeah.
I think if you're uncomfortable, you're gonna be a little more irritable, and if a woman's ovaries are shedding or whatever they do, then that's gonna cause her to be.
Shedding.
Isn't that what they call it? Shedding? Shedding of the.
I don't know, man. It sounds like you're talking about a snake.
Do you think that guys are more moody though if they're not being sexually active?
I think people in general are more moody when things are not going the way they want.
Totally.
Guys and girls.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys and girls, I think if you're putting your heart and soul into something and shit just is not lining up, I think it's human condition to just kind of,
Yeah.
it sucks, fucking, you know.
Yeah.
I did not say the F word, actually. I said fudge. Just to make sure. Let's go ahead and do another email. My girlfriend flirts all the time. She will grab guys' shoulders. She is constantly hugging on them. It's always in front of me.
Ugh.
She thinks I'm being too sensitive when I brought it up. She says she's not a cheater, and that's just how she is. What are your guys' thoughts?
That's just
Run.
annoying.
Run?
Run.
Okay, why is
sure.
this?
Well, I think it's more of a disrespect.
I agree with that.
If she's doing it to try and get attention from her guy,
That makes it worse.
It does.
Then-
God, the
do
games.
you really want to be with somebody like that? And if she's
No.
doing it and she doesn't see anything wrong with it, then that's a blatant disrespect to your relationship with her.
If you're dating somebody, how many strikes do you give them when it comes to mind games? What you personally would deem like, all right, this chick is stunting. She's doing something to get a reaction. How many do you give somebody?
I think if you bring it to the table and then it happens again,
Yeah.
then
Strike 2 for you?
oh yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's early on. Like, if it's early on and things stack up really quickly, I'm like there's more red flags in China.
Yeah.
I can't get into that.
You're a pretty forgiving dude, Denny's.
Yeah, I don't like the games though. My ex-girlfriend was into games, and after about I think there was 3 major stunts, I was done with
Give us one of the stunts.
Well, so check, and then you guys know I used to sell weed, but I was dealing forever. I started dating my ex-girlfriend, and when we were dating, she said she didn't like me selling weed, so I quit. I got out of the game, just separated. Well, come to find, 8 months later, she's working at Carrabba's, and one of the chefs back there was selling weed, and she used to come home and brag about how cool he was because he sold weed, and I was like, bitch, I fucking stopped selling weed because of this. I was like,
I guess we're swearing on the Bachelor Podcast.
but I'm like, dude, you told me to stop, and then you're saying this guy's cool for selling weed. It was kind of really annoying. That was one of them.
You could tell he was holding that in. That's
That's
something that
Feels good to get it out.
Are you on your man period?
Yeah,
yeah.
you're very defensive, Denny's.
Yeah. My biggest thing is if the girl, and even if she doesn't necessarily mean to be playing games, she just, we've talked about the communication thing. She's just a horrible communicator, and that just sucks.
What about the girl the girl that's playing games, but she doesn't realize she's playing games, which I'm not sure if I buy that shit either, but...
Yeah. Well, I've told this to a girl that I was dating for a little bit. In the beginning, everything was so difficult. Like simple things that shouldn't have been an argument. I'm like you guys. I'm laid back. I was like, it shouldn't be this hard.
It shouldn't be that hard.
It shouldn't be
Yeah.
this hard. Nothing's perfect.
Exactly.
But everything shouldn't be adversarial.
It would be what? So are we going to the party tonight? I don't know if we're going. Are you gonna wear that shirt? Is it that trivial kind of stuff?
Yeah,
Or-
trivial as to what time I was going to pick her up for dinner, or I went to 2 of her Christmas parties and I didn't want to go. She brought the third up last minute. I'm like, I haven't even eaten. I'm not going. She's
You
like, we're gonna
never
go.
support me, Ryan.
Yeah, and throws a temper tantrum. I'm like, no,
Gosh, yeah, I hear it. So it doesn't sound like we're being completely sexist. Guys act that way too.
You don't like
Oh, yeah.
Christmas parties? God, that's
I guess-
what I got out of that conversation.
I guess my next question would be, Ryan, why do you hate Christmas so much?
I love Christmas.
No, I know you do. I'm just messing around. Anything else you want to cover from the show?
How about Corinne? I was impressed how she handled herself in the Women Tell All.
I thought she did awesome.
You knew she was going to get attacked, and I thought she handled herself in a way where she gave it right back. But I thought that she had couth, if that makes sense.
I love Corinne. I think she did it right. I don't think she was mean to anybody. I think she was an attention getter. I think she annoyed girls and rubbed them the wrong way. She wasn't a jerk to people.
And I think she explained that. She
She did.
She almost had the Trump thing. She goes, I never attacked anyone. I just counterpunched. And that's kind of how she was. And she's like, listen, and as far as the nanny, she gave explanation. She goes, as far as the nanny thing, she was there with my mom when she had cancer, and I didn't want to. I felt like it was a derogatory in the moment to call her our housekeeper.
She knew where her weak points were going into the Women Tell All, and she was well versed on being able to respond to those.
Yeah.
Corinne's no idiot.
No.
She's
So-
not an
No.
idiot. No,
She's a
no.
boss.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you guys. She handled herself very well. A lot of couth there, but Taylor. Taylor was the girl that she was going after.
Yes.
Yep.
Emotional
And-
intelligence.
I didn't like
Emotions-
Taylor either. I didn't like. She annoyed me.
I think that was. I think Taylor bombed. I don't think that her points came across the way she wanted them, but she tried to take the high road, and she tried to use, I think, her educational background to overcome. And that was throughout the show, and I think she just got too emotionally involved.
Yeah. You're talking about well, you can never
Taylor?
Taylor. Yeah, a lot of times people don't want to hang with the smartest person in the room or the person that always knows everything. I know I don't.
Yeah.
And she kind of came off like that a little bit.
I think she's probably an amazing person. She's really smart.
Oh, yeah.
She has good intentions. It sounds like she's a really solid person. But she had the mistake of going into the show about just caring about herself. Stop worrying about everyone else. Like, stop, and just be in the moment. And, like, she went after Corinne too much.
I think it would have gone a lot better for her if she just would have not gotten so emotionally involved with not only Corinne, but maybe some of the other girls as well.
Oh, Corinne took her out of her game completely.
Yeah.
Corinne put the nails in her coffin.
100%.
Just to go back really quick on what we were talking about, I know about that one comment, the email where they said his girlfriend's flirting with other guys.
Mm-hmm.
What's if girls are listening right now that's in a relationship, what's just a good rule of thumb of things not to do in front of your boyfriend or your man where he's gonna be like, all right, she's flirting, it's making me uncomfortable. What's the level?
I would go with what Nick said. If it's brought up, and I tell this to girls when I'm dating, I go, if something bothered you and you said something to me, okay. If I did it again, then be mad at me, But like, if you bring it up to me, like, we never had this conversation before, so give me a chance. I don't think that should count as a strike, and I would give the same respect and rule to the girl I'm dating. If we're at a party and I saw her hand on the small of some guy's back, like.
So would that bother you? Okay, you're at a party. She goes up to the guy. She puts her hand on the small of his back. Goes, hey, how's it going? Great to see you. It lingers there for about 3 to 8 seconds. Are you bothered by that?
I think if it happens once, it's not a big deal. But if she's like touchy feely through the night and it's like it seems a little over the top, and my buddy's like, what's going on? And I bring it up to her. To Nick's point, like, and then she does it again, then I'm like, okay.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what's considered over the top. What's considered where you have to have a
shoulder grab or an arm caress.
Because we talk about that stuff all the time, and I'm a lot like you, I think, Ryan, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I would find that disrespectful if a girl's touching on a guy and all that. But then we get guys calling in all the time saying, oh, Bird, you're being a bitch. You're being oversensitive. It doesn't mean anything.
It's relative to whoever's going to call in. It's relative to us because we're imagining she's touching maybe a friend or maybe a guy that we think that she likes.
Yeah.
It's definitely situational. Yeah. I mean, if she's rubbing on her gay guy friend, who cares, right?
Yeah.
But if she's rubbing on
a Ryan Beckett, if you will.
Exactly.
No game.
And he takes her hand and puts it on his abs and kind of goes up and down. I mean, that's disrespectful.
That'd be such a sweet move to pull. I've never been
Oh
able
my
to
gosh!
do that.
Yeah, I gotta do. Hey, look at my flags.
I
baby.
push the hand away from my abs.
You like that? You like that dad body, honey? I ain't got no kids, but I got a dad bod.
I would question her emotional intelligence if she didn't know that was not something that she should be doing, Like, even if it wasn't her, what if the guy had his arm around her?
But you know some of these girls, oh my God, that's just how I am. I have all guy friends. I don't have any girlfriends, and I'm a flirt.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, all guy friends is a red flag.
I would walk away.
All guy friends is a red flag.
I can tell you this, I wouldn't get emotionally attached until it would take me a lot longer to get emotionally attached to a girl like that. Just because they don't come across as even caring.
I think that makes sense. Denny's,
it's all about respect, man.
So Jen, she puts her hand on the small of Ryan Beckett's back. She's like, hey, Ryan, I've never met you before. I've heard a lot about you. How's it going? Are you upset? I don't think you are upset.
I'd go up to her. I'd be like, dude, how did it feel? I'm just kidding. I mean, no.
I mean, you get upset.
No, well, I know a Ryan Beckett. If it was, Ryan Bockett, who I never met before, I'd probably be like, oh, what's the relationship here? I'm not going to come at her with, like, fist or anything.
And that's true, too. And it depends on, is it Denny's sober? Is it Denny's after a couple drinks?
I turn into a real dick face when I drink.
Kind of does.
I do,
But
man.
then again, I think we all do.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the next podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
We got to figure that out.
good.
We got to make sure there's drinks. We got to make sure we all got Uber or Lyft rides. We got to make
Yep,
sure
nobody driving.
that it's at a good time.
Okay.
All right. So we'll keep in contact. We'll let the people know, and that's about it. So,
I like the questions, and if Nick, we should get a couple questions for Nick too, for the next one.
are you going to
We'll-
be here for the next one? It'll be next week.
Let's work out a time.
Okay, we'll work it out off
Yeah,
the
we
air
can
because we don't know what it
solicit,
is
that'd be
now.
Put Nick in the hot seat a little bit.
I love putting people on the hot seat. Yeah, here's what we'll do.
We'll solicit for it.
We'll make next week's podcast the Hot Seat Podcast. You guys come up with questions for me and Denny's. We come up with questions
I
for
love
you.
it.
Oh, geez.
Nothing is off limits, baby. I
love
it. Nick is not going to show up now.
Sorry, guys.
I want to go back to the Women Tell All real quick.
Go for it.
I think a lot of people watching the show, they look at some of the girls that get brought back that were released like episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and they're like, who are these people? Like, why are they talking? They don't have any reason to talk. But you got to realize that these girls, whether they were edited out at all or just were quiet for their own reasons, they've now watched the entire show, and they see a lot of things that they didn't even see on the show.
Right, it's true.
So it's their time to come and have their release and get answers for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know if I ever did one of those shows, if I was ever on The Bachelor, I would have been the guy like, oh my God, can you believe what that guy's doing? Just I think I would have not handled it well. I think I would have drank a lot, and my main goal would not to be to have her fall in love with me, to try to be entertaining. And I think some guys do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's, or girls.
Yeah.
If you notice, that person that goes in there to be entertaining, they never win it.
No.
Corinne was kind of that person.
Yeah, she was
came close,
entertaining,
But
but
I guess the point I'm getting at, it was really good to hear some of the people that were more quiet or maybe
Yeah.
just were edited out, like your Lacey's or your Whitney's or, you know.
Oh, Whitney. Oh my gosh, how you let her get away?
That dress
then-
was fire.
Gosh, Whitney's really hot, and I like the girl he had a one-night stand with. I thought Liz was really hot.
Danielle M. That dress. Wow.
Oh, was that Danielle?
Danielle.
Or was that Danielle or Haley?
I love how we've been watching for a whole season. I have no idea who the hell
Oh, it
you're
was
talking about.
Danielle.
Danielle M. Smoking last night.
She was one that had that
Perfect
white dress with like the
Yes.
swoop down.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
Good.
really liked Whitney. You guys didn't like the one-night stand girl, Elizabeth? Liz? No.
She was all
Denny's
right.
didn't like her either.
She was alright, Bird.
I thought that she did well for herself on Women Tell All, but I totally agree with what Nick said when he sent her off.
Oh, I'm not talking anything about,
Oh, you're saying-
personality. I think she
Purely
looked-
carnal.
I thought, yeah, purely carnal. I thought she was really good looking, but Denny's wasn't feeling it. It sounds like you guys aren't
Yeah.
either.
What,
She turned that
Danielle?
room
She had,
around
like
though.
the huge back tat, didn't she? Like to that like helicopter pad on her back.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me though.
It's like a tiger skeleton or something. Did you see
Danielle
it?
M?
No, we're talking about
Liz.
Liz.
Oh, Liz.
The
Okay.
girl that he hooked up with at the party or the wedding.
The one night
Yeah.
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was a one night stand. I don't know.
Thank God for him that situation was where she didn't call him. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
That's probably all he was thinking about the first 2 weeks in the
Oh,
house.
when he saw her walk up, he's like, "Son of a bitch, man!
Yep.
She's got dirt on me. I just wanted to. This is gonna be a cozy moment. I'll be the Bachelor. And we're all these girls. And I gotta deal with this shit."
Oh man.
He saw her step out that limo, and he was like, I got to play my cards right on this one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's all he could think about until she was out of the house. His
Yep.
goal was get her out, get her out.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up because we're almost at an hour. That's good though. I like that. It's therapeutic.
It is.
You guys have anything to plug?
No.
Sweet.
Polo.
Just come hang out with us. I'm Beckett List on Instagram. What's yours?
Oh yeah, give out your social stuff.
Nick Benvenuti.
Okay. Is that at Twitter or is that?
It's Nick Benvenuti across the board. Twitter, Insta,
Snapchat.
Facebook, Snapchat.
MySpace.
Snapchat, it's Saint Nick, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And
roll by
Dennis,
saying
give
that.
out your information. I noticed your social media numbers are a little low. Peace
yeah,
Train?
I'm pretty slack with the social media though.
He doesn't. He's afraid the cops are
Well-
gonna find him.
Well, it used to be I didn't give out any of my information because I felt like back in my shadier past
Good
I owed
career
people
choice.
money and I didn't want them hitting me up later. But now I think I'm in the clear. It's been a few years, but
Yeah, that's all we got. So next week we got the Drinking Bachelor Podcast.
Yeah.
All right, bitches, let's do this.
Hit us with the
thing.
questions too.
Yeah, hit us up with some
everybody
questions.
think of questions.
And if you guys too, any relationship you guys can think of, any kind of questions or topics, jot them down. We'll get into it.
And the people.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Bachelor Podcast. We will talk to you guys next week. We love you all, and Bigfoot is real.